What's up, guys and pals? It's your buddy Coach Vino. Now, when it comes to Amari, I gotta tell you something. I've had many, if not most, of the Amari that you could find here in the New York tri-state area. I mean, either I've owned the bottle or I've had it at one of the many great bars and restaurants that you could find out here. And that said, I am still excited every single time a new Amaro comes across my line of sight. And that's the case with today's Amaro. See the Elephant Amaro. Now, this Amaro was launched back in 2021 by Kyle Harder. Now, See the Elephant and Kyle Harder don't sound very Italian, but I can guarantee you that this is in fact an Italian Amaro, and it was made in Agropoli, Italy by a third-generation family distiller. So this has got some roots in it, you know what I'm saying? And I don't mean just the ingredients. Now, while most Amari are made using a combination of roots and herbs and citrus, what makes See the Elephant so unique is that its primary ingredient is arugula, or rucola, as the paisans might say. And that gives it a very distinctive flavor profile. I mean, I'm talking like caramel and pepper, a little bit of toffee. I also get, believe it or not, some root beer, some cola, and the one flavor that I get that's really wild is a bubble gum. I mean, I'm talking like a Bazooka Joe here. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very, very unique and distinct flavor profile, but nonetheless, very, very delicious. Now, in terms of the name, actually, See the Elephant, that's an old term that goes back to the early 1800s, I believe it is. And it was a term used when people would visit New York to go see an elephant. Apparently, since it was such a rare and awe-inspiring sight, the term See the Elephant ended up becoming an idiom that meant going to do something that was, kind of different and unique and out of this world. And that's basically why they named the bottle, because they're hoping to create that same experience in the flavor palette here, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very excited to show you guys a couple of my own original cocktails using this bad boy. I mean, it hasn't been long enough yet where there's any, classic recipes using the stuff. So hopefully today I could create two cocktails that you guys will find delicious, and maybe they become signature cocktails for the See the Elephant Amaro, right, folks? Now I'm gonna go ahead and do that for you guys. But before I do that, I'm gonna need you guys to go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can help Vino feed the hungry algorithm. And make sure you stick around, because we're about to boogie down. All right, so for the first of my two original cocktails using See the Elephant Amaro, I'm gonna be making you guys a riff on the classic Brooklyn cocktail, one of my favorite cocktails. And this one is called Dumbo. Now, if you're not from the New York City area, you might not get the play on words here, but Dumbo is an area in Brooklyn, and it stands for Down Under the Manhattan Bridge Overpass. Now, Dumbo also happens to be an elephant cartoon character from the Disney cartoons, and so here we go. I got a Brooklyn riff, and it has an Elephant Amaro, bing bong bing. I think you know where I'm going here. All right, folks, let us look at what is in the sauce. So just like the original Brooklyn cocktail, we're going to be using some Rye Whiskey. I'm using Rittenhouse. I love this. It's hot, it's spicy, it's Thai proof, so it's really going to hold up against some of the sweeter components here. We're also going to be using a dry vermouth like in the original, and we're going to be using Dolan for that. And then instead of using maraschino liqueur, I'm going to be using some Benedictine. I found that the honey and the spicy notes in this work really, really well with this See the Elephant Amaro. And then in terms of the Amaro, instead of using a mere pecan, we're going to be using the See the Elephant, okay? And then I'm going to stir this bad boy up, serve it in a cocktail glass, and I'm going to garnish that with the St. Agrestis cherries. Now, these are not just any cherries. These are also from Brooklyn, and they are Amaro soaked. So they're super bitter, and they got all these Amaro notes going on. I mean, this is like Amaro from beginning to end. I mean, you can't go wrong here, you know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and make our Dumbo cocktail. All right, so for my second See the Elephant Amaro cocktail, I'm making a little something called Working for Peanuts. Now, believe it or not, Working for Peanuts is also an old Disney cartoon. And that was a complete coincidence that we're talking about Dumbo and this old Daffy Duck, Donald Duck cartoon. Complete coincidence. You know what I'm saying? But working for peanuts was also an old term they used for elephants, because they used to feed the peanuts to elephants to make them do tricks and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And again, you know, that was intended. That was another play on words with the whole elephant thing here. So working for peanuts. And let's look at what is in the sauce for this bad boy, okay? So we're going to be doing some Smith and Cross Rum, right? Smith and Cross Rum, if you guys have been watching this channel for more than 15 minutes, you know that I love this stuff. It is a big, a bold, absolutely delicious rum. If you don't have this, you want to use like just another really good Jamaican rum, you know, that'll work as well. You just want something that's going to have a lot of funk to it. It really works well with the rest of the ingredients that are here, okay? And then we're going to be using some apple brandy, okay? Specifically, I'm using Laird's apple brandy, the straight apple brandy, which is also one of another high-proof spirits. So both of these are high-proof spirits, and they really works to help balance out some of the sweetness that you're getting from the Amaro, from the honey syrup, which is coming next, all right? Again, delicious, delicious spirit, but if you have a Calvados or another kind of apple brandy, you should definitely feel free to use that as well, okay? Now, we're also going to be using some honey syrup. I'm doing a 2-to-1 honey syrup here, so you're going to get a nice honey flavor. You know, it's going to be deep, it's going to be rich, it's going to add some viscosity to the cocktail. Really good stuff, okay? And then we're going to do some lemon juice. We're going to do a dash of Angostura bitters, which is going to add a little bit of spiciness. And of course, we're going to be adding our Amaro to the mix here, okay? And I got to tell you, the notes in the Amaro, you know, that bubble gum and stuff like that, you know, believe it or not, the root beer, they work really, really well in this cocktail, right, folks? So let's go ahead and make our working for peanuts. All right, well, there you have it, folks. 2 original Coach Vino cocktails using the Elephant Amaro. Let's go ahead and give these bad boys a sippy sip, all right? I'm going to go ahead and start with the Dumbo cocktail, which is a riff on the classic Brooklyn cocktail, okay? Cheers. Guys, that is absolutely delicious. The Rye Whiskey adds some beautiful vanilla and spicy notes to it. The Benedictine, again, is just bringing that honey flavor. It's got those nice honey flavors. So, you know how I said the Amaro, the Seed Elephant Amaro has like some kind of bubblegum notes? I'm telling you that the dry vermouth actually helps to pump that up a little bit. So you get some really cool bubblegum notes here. Definitely some root beer on the back end. Really nice. A lot of delicious herbs in this also. You get a lot of delicious herbs and, you know, roots and whatnot in this as well. You know, those typical kind of Amaro notes. Oh, this is so delicious, guys. That's a Coach Vino style cocktail. You know what I'm saying? You know, if I say so myself, it might be preferred to the Brooklyn cocktail. Anyway, guys. All right, now let's go ahead and try our working for peanuts cocktail. Again, this was going to have 2 high-proof spirits in it, both 2 that I absolutely love, and then, of course, our CD Elephant Amaro with some honey and lemon and whatnot. Cheers. Oh, yeah. That's nice. I got to tell you, the apple really comes through in this, but then you get that back-end funk on it with a nice coating of honey, and then, once again, the Amaro comes around and adds some nice little bubblegum notes. But you're also getting a little more toffee in this as well. I feel like toffee's come through a little bit of pepper that I'm feeling on the very back end of the palate there. Oh yeah, that's nice, guys. So look, 2 delicious cocktails using a very fantastic, new to the market Amaro that if you guys have not tried that, I strongly recommend you go out and pick it up. It's absolutely delicious. A great addition to any Amaro lover's collection, right, guys? Anyway, look, if you enjoyed today's video, I have a playlist down in the description of all my other great Amaro videos. I've got cocktails using all different types of Amaros. Plus, I also have my Amaro 101 video. If you don't really know the Amaro category too well, I help to explain it in the most layman's terms possible. All right, guys? Anyway, if you like today's video, please press like, please subscribe, and please share with your family and friends. Remember, sharing is caring. And when life gives you lemons, make yourself a cocktail. Cheers.